Hey guys, thanks for watching 205 Outdoors. I'm Freddy Dillard. Hey, real quick before we get started with today's video, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so and feel free to like, comment. Really those things kind of help the algorithm through YouTube and helps the channel grow. And guys, I really do appreciate it. Appreciate you guys' support. So yesterday I was on our property. I decided to go look at a different part of our property. I think I was there actually last week and looked at a different bachelor group of bucks. And so let's go ahead and watch the video now. So first thing, I know a lot of people have trouble seeing these deer with the thermal on this video, so I went in and put a circle around this first group, and you can see the deer there. As I zoom in, you know, in between the pines right there, there was 3 deer standing there. They're kind of up feeding and walking around. 3 nice bucks. And we're just going to kind of look at each one individually. I think this first one, I don't know. I can't tell from that angle if he's a 3 or 4. I'm leaning toward him being a 4-year-old buck though. Nice looking deer. So we'll get to the next one. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, this picture right here, from the side view, he looks pretty good buck. And so one of the things about this property right here is a select cut a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And so it's really dense in pines, and it's actually grown up a good bit at this point. So I like it. I like flying this part of the property. It's really good practice for deer season when you're, trying to recover a deer and they're obviously in thick stuff. Learn how to maneuver the drone and to look into like these small windows around all these pines is really helpful. And of course, these 2 bucks are just kind of in an open area, which is an anomaly for this part of the property. Okay, so this is definitely a shooter buck. I think he's a 5.5-year-old. Really nice buck. We watched him last year. He was a 4-year-old, and he's a tank. By the time October gets here, he will be you'll see the videos. I mean, this is a really nice buck out there feeding. Rarely ever saw him in daylight, in a field or anything. Once season got started, I mean, he stays in thick, nasty stuff. That's how he's staying alive, like he is. This picture right here, I'm able to just zoom in from it's just a really tight window, but I got a pretty good view of him right here. Again, this is great practice for searching for deer and recovering deer later on. I don't know if I did a zoom out right here, but it was a really tight window. This buck right here, I'm thinking is 3 or 4. It looks like a pretty big bodied buck. He may be a 4-year-old. I think there's 2 or 3 shooters in this group. I went ahead and got a side view. Oops, swinging the drone around right there. Sorry about that. When you get kind of zoomed in, it's, that drone up there can get kind of rocky for a second. So we zoomed in, and yeah, I mean, I think he's probably a 4-year-old. He's a decent sized buck. He'll probably be close to 170 pounds. So at that point, I ended up moving to a different part of our property. So we've watched a lot of those clear-cut bucks, is what I'm calling them at this point. This other bachelor group is not far away. So I found actually a third, group, I'm calling it. They all may just be one big bachelor group, but there's 4 deer in one and 4 in the other, and they typically, I don't see them together a whole lot. Occasionally I do see some of them kind of mingled together. But this group right here, this buck he's a nice one. I'd say he's a solid 4-year-old. Just from watching him, big bodied. He's just hanging out, eating. Kind of got a top view of him. You can see how wide that deer is. And man, they are just hammering this stuff in this select cut. This buck right here, he's looking around. I don't know if he heard the drone or not. Something had him a little bit on edge, and then he just kind of calmed down and went back to feeding. So I don't know. He may have, who knows, he may have seen a coyote or smelled something. There's no telling. But he went back to feeding. Yeah, this is where I got to the, this is going to be probably everyone's target buck when they see this. And I'm not telling anybody where he's at. That's why we're zoomed in. There's no coordinates on here. No, I'm just kidding. I hope somebody gets him. I hope I get him. If I don't, somebody else. This is a nice buck. He's going to be a 10 point. And he's already this big at the beginning of July. There's no telling how big this deer is going to be in October by the time the season gets here. And if he survives to the rut, I mean, I hope he does. And I'd like to see him just in full rut. I mean, this is going to be a nice buck. He's going to be a bruiser. For our property, I get if you live in Illinois, this may not be a giant for you guys, but for our property, it's a pretty nice buck. I think for most of Alabama, this is going to be a really nice buck. And I'm guessing he's 5.5. We don't see him on trail camera a whole lot. Here's one of his buddies that was with him, and I just took kind of a zoomed out view of that. Just looking at these two kind of gives you a comparison. But he's going to be a nice one. And I think I said this yesterday and day before on those videos. If you guys, if you have property in central Alabama and you'd like for me to come out there and fly your property, give me a call, man. I'll put my card in the left-hand corner again, and it's got my number on it. Just shoot me a text. It's probably the best way to get me. And I'd be happy to come out and look at your property with you. We'll get you a video and get you some, we can pin where these deer are and kind of get some patterns and all those things. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this week. But thanks for watching 205 Outdoors. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. And again, thanks for watching.